Welcome to another edition of the Will Be Blood Fight Show. I'm your host, Dave Duenas. This is the aftermath of Margarito versus Sugar Shane Mosley. Okay, let's get down to it. Okay, if you watch the show, you know that my prediction was Margarito was gonna give him a beatdown, and it was actually the opposite. It was the other way around. It was like watching Manny Pacquiao beating up Oscar De La Hoya. We saw the same type of fight. Okay, it was a one-sided fight, and it was for Sugar Shane Mosley. Okay. Now, I would have posted this video a long time ago, but I had to wait till I come back here in my hometown over here in this side of the Bay Area in order to do it, okay? I was up in LA at Staples covering the fight for everybody. Got a lot of great footages. Did an interview with Victor Archilian, Bob Arum, Steve Ken from Max Boxing, Gamboa, Victor Ortiz, and much more, okay? Did my networking out there and stuff, and the guys that recognized me, and came up to me and said what's up and everything. Hey, thanks, man, for the love and everything. All right, let's go down to the fight. What exactly did Sugar Shane Mosley do to Antonio Margarito? Why wasn't the Tornado able to be the Tornado in the ring? A lot of things. Right after the fight, I go down back to the hotel really quick so I can get a change of clothes. I ran into another sports writer, and he goes to me right away. He goes, Dave, what happened? Dude, Margarito was not throwing his body shots. Margarito did not even look close to what he looked like when he fought Cotto. Margarito, just walked in. Margarito looked weak. Margarito looked this. There obviously was already a lot of excuses for Margarito. Just like emotions run hard when your fighter loses, okay? But in answer to his question, I summed it up with just one word, all right? And it was Mosley. That's what happened to Margarito. Sugar Shane Mosley. If ever anybody was to challenge Sugar Shane Mosley, you challenge him out of the Staples Center. Every time out, he's been spectacular in the Staples Center, okay? He just reminding us why he's still king of LA. Anytime you're going to challenge him, make sure it's at Home Depot where you can look terrible at, or you fight him in Madison Square Garden, or you fight him in Las Vegas. This was by far one of the best performances he did. But let's talk about what exactly did he do in order to assure himself a victory, and a spectacular victory, okay? This erases the Mayorga thing here. The 1 second. This was better than the 1 second left on the 12th round facing Mayorga, okay? Well, if there's one thing that he did, when the distance was closed with each other, with Margarito and Shane did something that nobody else did, which was decide to allow Margarito to take advantage of having closed the distance. And one way, even though a lot of fight fans and even people that don't watch boxing, they say, oh, I can't stand when somebody does this, blah, blah, blah. But to me, it's just sheer genius when a guy does this. He put his forehead in Margarito's face. That only just took out Margarito's game plan, okay? That was something that really was a big telling for the fight, because it didn't allow Margarito to be able to crouch down and get his feet underneath him to start throwing body shots or uppercuts. What it did, it made him pull back straight and made him become tall. And what's made him become normal. The other thing, too, is this. Margarito really was expecting somebody to really just dance and try to get out of there. Instead, Mosley confused him. On the second round, you can see the confusion in Margarito's face. And even with their cap, he went forward with them. He pushed Margarito back, okay? The other thing, too, that I like what he did is he threw the overhand right, which set up the body shots. Watch the fight again. He would throw the overhand right, catch him. And I did mention he has one of the best, sneakiest overhand rights ever. I said, ask De La Hoya, Cotto, and Mayorga. Now we could definitely ask Margarito, okay? Threw the overhand right in order to throw the body shot. So many things the veteran does. So many things the veteran is always proven to prove. Fight fans, everybody's like, obviously doing these videos and having this show, there's always, the bad that comes along with it. You get guys, there's plenty of guys out there that made predictions, okay? But I'll tell you this. I only respect guys that do vids that talk about their predictions and stick with their predictions. 17 Brandon and Borgs, okay, stuck with their man. That's one of their favorite fighters. They stuck with them. I don't go off favorite fighters. I go off of statistics and what's in front of you. It's always a gamble when you do it. Now, I got an email talking about, Dave, how could you judge my man and this and this and this and that and blah, 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 blah. Look, first off, just because you get one prediction right, what does that make you? the smartest guy in boxing? No, it just means you got it right, okay? Boxing is one of the most hardest things to make predictions on. It's boxing, for crying out loud. You know, any man with 2 hands, 2 feet, and 2 eyes has a chance of upsetting. Greatest upset to start off the year. You know, how many people? It was 98% of the world that were saying that Margarito was gonna, you know, beat Mosley. No, now they were wrong. 2% were right. You know, Pastron Jr., I think I'm saying your name right. Distant Alleys, I'm giving you a shout out. You know, especially Pastron saying that, don't be biased. I've never been biased, first off, brother. So, you know, now you can comment on my show saying, Dave, you're right. I'm not biased. I'm your #1 fan. All right. So, anyways, let's get back down to it, okay? My man, 17 Brandon called me. I was there at the fight, you know, and like I told him before, great performance, hands down. Can't take nothing away from Shane, okay? But let's go off with this, right? The fact is this, okay? Sugar Shane Mosley showed there's always a way of coming back. You pick the right opponent, you pick the right time, you pick the right place, you know? The ifs, the ands, the what's, the wins, the hows, and not even I don't think so can always be proven in boxing. There's nothing impossible in boxing. You can make the impossible possible. That's the beauty about the whole sport. You know, you can have your day and you can have your night. It doesn't matter. Boxing is that great. That's what makes the sport so fantastic. You know, what does it leave for Sugar Shane Mosley to go here from now? Well, he has now earned the right to call out Cotto. Now, if Cotto doesn't want to come at him right away, which I wouldn't blame him and stuff, but it would be a completely different fight. You know, he has so many options. Sugar Shane Mosley right now is the king of the welterweights. But you would still have to fight Paul Williams. You still have to fight Andre Berto. That's the greatness of the welterweight division. There's so many opportunities, not just stuck with one. You know, also he could wait for the winner for Ricky Hatton versus Manny Pacquiao. Those are great potential fights. Imagine Manny Pacquiao versus Sugar Shane Mosley, or Ricky Hatton versus Sugar Shane Mosley. Those fights are very matchable. You know what I mean? Of course, you're gonna have to say with Sugar, he's a little bit bigger. The speed, well, it's always been. He's always had speed, so that didn't make any difference. Okay, footwork, didn't have to use any footwork, because the guy was there to be hit. The strength, wow, it looked great. He looked strong, strongest I've ever seen him. You know, you can't say that he's always been that strong. That's not even true. This is the first time he was that strong. You know, I've always kept good communications with Jack Mosley's camp, and even with Jack. I ran into Jack Mosley in front of the Staples, walking up to go into the weigh-in. Anyways, I ran into him, and you know, we said what's up, hello, blah blah blah, you know, and he stuck to his game. He stuck to you know, backing up his son, which is what you should do. You know, another really good friend of theirs is Kent. Keep calling me over and over and over, where it was just tiring. Like, look, brother, I understand that you're rooting for your man and stuff, but you can't change my prediction. Unfortunately, I'm not going to do that just because I know you guys on a personal basis. It doesn't work like that in boxing. I got to call it how I see it. And he understood that, and they respect me for that, just like I respect them for that. And you know what? Right away, everybody's calling me up and spilling their camera. Hey, Dave, when are you going to post a vid? I'm posting it. I've never shied away of not posting when I am wrong. Okay, I'm the first one to say, ha, shit, you got me. No biggie. Like I said before, it's a prediction. It's nothing big about it. If I made a prediction every time right, I'd be a millionaire by now. But it's boxing. If you think you make a prediction every time you're right, you know what? Why aren't you posting your vids? That's all part of boxing. Anyways, I'm your host, Dave Duenas. This was another edition of the Will Be Bluff Fight Show. And yes, to answer a lot of emails, I got an email saying, do you think Shane's got a shot against Money Mayweather? I don't think the question should be, do I think he has a shot at Money Mayweather? The question is, will Money Mayweather give him the shot to get the shot of defeating him? That's the big question. And that's going to be left for another show. Take it easy, guys.